Kicking off the year will be the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland this month. The annual gathering comes as multiple crises deepen divisions and fragment the geopolitical landscape. World leaders will be urged to address people's needs while also laying the groundwork for a more sustainable and resilient world.
At the beginning of the new year, looking ahead to our future, characterized by unprecedented multiple crises. And even worse, those economic, environmental, social, and geopolitical crises are converging and conflating, creating an extremely versatile and uncertain future. So far, it's no surprise that generally we are all stuck in a crisis mindset.
President Cyril Ramaphosa will lead a delegation of some ministers and captains of industry. He will head the promotion of South Africa as an investment destination of choice.
There are many friends that will be at WEF. It's the first major conference in terms of, post-COVID. So it's an opportunity for us to engage with the world. And I think we need to say that South Africa is open for business. Countries are looking at new opportunities. They're looking at reviving their economies. But we're in a very, very difficult geopolitical global context. And we need to be aware of that. And for South Africans, I think we need to stress that our experience is that you make major decisions of conflict through well-crafted negotiation processes. And so we should advocate for peace.
This year's theme is cooperation in a fragmented world. The President will be accompanied by Ministers Pando, Kotongwana, Patel, and Kubai. The South African delegation to WEF will add the country's voice to discussions about global issues with the overall aim to position South Africa as a competitive business destination. President Ramaphosa will participate in the dialogue on economics of women's health, the annual dinner hosted by Professor Klaus and Hilde Schwab. The dinner brings together heads of state, government, and international organizations, as well as members of the Board of Trustees, the International Business Council.
And there will be an African Union summit in Ethiopia to look at the critical issues facing the continent. A new chairperson will also be elected, and the Comoros is set to take over the chairmanship on behalf of East Africa. Meanwhile, South Africa is the current chair of BRICS, and its summit will be held on our shores.
BRICS plays an important role in our foreign policy architecture. We hold it in great regard and high regard. And as a member of the international community, particularly the African Union and the United Nations, for us to be associated with great countries like Russia, China, Brazil, and India. For us, the small country that we are, it's a great lift for our image, for our standing in the world. And so we treat this opportunity with a great deal of seriousness and pride. But being the Pan-African type of organization that we are and a country that we are, we want to use this opportunity to advance the interests of our continent. Yeah. And we will therefore, through the BRICS summit, be having an outreach process or moment where we will invite other African countries to come and be part of the BRICS, because we do want BRICS in whatever BRICS does, to focus on helping to develop our continent.
Other major international events include the G20 summit that is currently presided over by India, while South Africa will assume the G20 presidency in 2025. There will also be regional gatherings like SADC meetings as the situation worsens in eastern parts of the DRC, and update is needed on the SADC mission deployed in northern Mozambique to repel terror attacks. Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.